is the Pro Filter Concealer from Fenty. Amazing stuff. And my girlfriend and I, we are huge Fenty fans, and we've been using some of their stuff. And when Fenty first came out, they did not have a concealer at all. So what I was actually using at the time was the matchstick from Fenty, which is really awesome. It's kind of like a multi-purpose kind of thing. It can be used as your concealer, it can be used as your highlight, it can be used as your contour. But me, when I was using this, I was actually just using it as my foundation. I liked it just because of how easy it is to carry around. It's pretty straightforward. The only thing with this is that whenever I did wear the truffle, that's my color, truffle matchstick. Whenever I did wear truffle, I always felt like I had to wear a primer with it. And with the Pro Filter Concealer, you can just throw it on your face and it works. But for today's demonstration purposes, I am going to, for the first time ever, throw on the Pro Filter Concealer with a primer. And the primer that I'm using today is my girlfriend's Kat Von D's primer. Sorry, babe. It's for the video. Anyway, so this will be my first time using it. And really quickly, for anyone who's using primer, a little goes a long way. Especially for men out there with facial hair, a little definitely does go a long way. So we want to just use like a tiny bit. Not so much, all right. So again, this is my first time putting it on with a primer, and again, it is the Kat Von D primer. So what we're gonna do is we have a tiny little amount in our hands, right? We're just gonna rub it together, get it in there. Not a lot. Little goes a long way. There you go. There you go. And the purpose of a primer, guys, is just to smooth out the makeup, make it look more natural, pretty much making it become a second layer of skin. We really want it to look like a second layer of skin. We want to have our best looking skin possible. And the idea of it is to look super natural. So I just put the primer on, all right, put it on. We let it sit for a couple of seconds, and what I'm gonna do at this point now is I'm going to grab the Pro Filter Concealer, and with the Pro Filter Concealer, it actually uses a wand that we're gonna apply to the specific areas that we're going to be trying to insinuate and highlight. Now, you guys, you can always use your fingers to blend things out, but for today's purposes, I actually have a beauty blender sponge, which works really well. I like using the beauty blender sponge more for foundations because it actually does a good job at evening it out. But with concealers, it's a little bit tricky because there's little areas that you just can't really get into really well with your fingers or with a sponge. So I've never used a brush for a concealer, but if you guys have one, it's always a good way to go. Now, what I like to do is I like to focus on my under eye area, and I also like to get a bit of a natural highlight going on with the concealer as well too. And I also like to just get a little bit on my nose. The reason why is to just add more even tone to my entire face if I get it from the under eyes and the nose. And I also like to get it on top of my eyebrow and also around my eyebrow just to make it pop more. And also just right in the center of my head to just even it all out, but I'll show you what I mean. So, dip. All right, not a lot, guys. We want to get a little bit off of the edge of the wand. So what we do is we start under the eye, just like that. We make a little triangle over here. Okay, you guys have to excuse me. There's a mirror that I'm looking at underneath the camera here. All right, there we go. This is not gonna be perfect, but same thing. We wanna create like a little triangle over here. All right, just like that. Okay, just give me a moment as I actually look in the mirror to see what the fuck I'm doing. This is from my bicycle, guys. This is a bicycle mirror. All right, let me just fix myself up a little bit more here. Okay, give me one moment, guys. All right, there we go. All right. We want to fill in these areas with the triangle just a little bit. I feel like I was like doing this shit in the dark, to be honest, but we're fixing it up nice and well. So more or less, we do want to get triangles underneath the eye area. And also, I'm dipping again. Okay, nice little line on the nose. This is just definitely gonna highlight the nose a bit more. And also, I do also like to get around the eyebrow area just to make it pop a bit more. You know, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get that pop. Not a skateboard pop, but a face pop. You know what I mean? We gotta get it like that. So this is literally all that I'm doing. And I like using the concealer just to, again, highlight my cheek areas, highlight my eyebrow area. Now, what we do here, guys, is we just let the concealer just sit on our face for a moment. We don't immediately go right into blending it. I want to say you want to wait at least a couple of seconds. A couple of seconds is always good just to let it sit. Let it sit, let it sit, let it sit. And then we are going to be using this end of our sponge. This is the end of, if you guys are using a beauty blender, I guess. But we use this end of the beauty blender, as you guys can see. It's like a little marshmallow with a chocolate top on it. And I think we did a good amount of time for it, so we're gonna start blending it in. Now what we do is we don't rub it around, because what you're doing is you're actually getting rid of the product. So it's been sitting here, it's been settling, so what we do now is we're just gonna tap it all in. Tap, 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 tap. Yep, so again, we're not rubbing, we're not smearing it away, because if we're, any side motions will just get rid of the product completely. So we're just tapping. Tap, 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 tap. And again, I can't really see what I'm doing right now because again, I'm not using a face camera for this video, guys. I am not using a face camera for this video. This is why I have a backup mirror so I can take a look. And this is my first time using the primer with it. So shout out to Kat Von D and shout out to my girlfriend for having this primer. So we're just gonna tap, 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 tap again. No rubbing, rubbing. Tap, 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 tap. All right. And you will find that while you're tapping, you're gonna see extra of the concealer just all over the place. You just tap it into the areas that you know you want to conceal. So for men, we also want to get like this little area underneath the beard, you know, to really blend it really well. Really, 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 really well. Tap, 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 tap. And guys, you're gonna know that you're done when you no longer see any more products. And this is what I mean by, guys, if you guys have brushes, brushes work really well because the beauty blender is unable to get into tighter areas. So for the tighter areas underneath the eye, we just tap underneath the eye with our fingers. This is where the fingers are gonna come in handy. Get it? Handy. This is where the fingers come in handy. Just like this. We want to look up while we do that. Look up to get really underneath this bone here. I think I'm done. Let me take a look. I think I'm done, guys. And this is a really natural way to just uplift your look, make you look like you had a good night's sleep, make you look like you're ready for the day. And again, what I was using was Pro Filter Concealer from Fenty. And for the first time, I tried it with a Kat Von D primer. Primer goes good with concealer or not. And I was using a beauty blender, and this is the finished product.